As the dust settles on a remarkable Olympics hosted by Paris, attention has been turned to the next city, that is Los Angeles in 2028. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Before we get to Los Angeles, which is 4 years from now, we're going to do a postmortem of the 2024 Olympics in Paris. Like I said, it was remarkable. It had everything, but hey, if you're a Nigerian, it was definitely disappointing. Welcome to another exciting edition of Sports Pizza. My name is Edwin Onyebulise. Yes, it promises to be another exciting time on the show today. We have a lot to unpack. The Olympics will feature heavily on the show today. And remember, club football is back. We saw the Community Shield. This is a precursor to the English Premier League season 2024-2025 season. Yes, we also have two more leagues from the top leagues that will resume this weekend. We have the Spanish La Liga and, of course, the Italian Serie A. I will do a preview going into the upcoming season. Once again, welcome to Sports Pizza, the show that gives you all of the best from the world of sports. I'm not doing this alone. Yes, I'm always in company of Abe David. Before I bring Abe David on board, let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll get the ball rolling. Welcome back. It is still Sports Pizza. Edwin alongside David in the building. David, what's up? How you doing?
Edwin, it's a pleasure to be here as always. It's good to be here. I'm just not in a good mood because I did my own post-mortem of the Olympics. I looked at the medals table and I saw that the international refugee team actually have medals, and Nigeria, a nation of over 200 million people, could not get even a spoon back from Paris. But you talked about the next Olympics in 2028. I don't want to be a prophet of doom, but I'm going to be able to say next Olympics will probably be in the same situation, maybe a little better, but I don't see anything deliberate. When it does, it does is already settling with the fans, and also analysts will talk about it, but I'm sure the people in charge will just sweep it under the carpet and move on to the next thing on the agenda.
David, the last time we failed to pick a medal at the Olympics was in 2012, London. Yeah. Guess what? The following Olympics, 2016, we picked up just one bronze medal, and that was from football, where CSA led us to a bronze medal. Are you hopeful that the lessons learned from 2028 and the mistakes made will be averted going into 2028?
I'm not hopeful, because as a nation, we are not a nation that learns lessons. We allow events to happen to us and we just move on. We are like dog in water. We just shake it off our body and then just move on like nothing happened. And that's the sad part. We are going to be here again.
If you are to lay the blame on the feet of someone, who would that be? The athletes or the administrators?
I would lay it completely at the feet of the administrators, because you look at other countries, they provide the enabling environment for these athletes to thrive. The athletes that are successful are the ones that they are the few that have been able to, the excellent ones from the ones that the large pool they have. But for Nigeria, it's just few trickle down, and most of the athletes we have that we're looking at as medal hopefuls are athletes who are either in foreign universities abroad. They are training. We don't have local athletes that we actually say we built and we are taking to the Olympics, and that's why the administrators are not doing what is right.
David, if you take a look at the history of the Olympics, we've picked up about 27, 28 medals in total. Our best outing was in 1996. Do you think maybe we tend to over-exaggerate our importance in the world of sports? Maybe we are not a sporting nation. We tend to have this false image of where we are in the world of sports. Maybe it is not an administrative problem. Maybe it's just who we are. We think that we are at a certain level when in reality we are not at that level.
Yeah, I think so. I think I agree with you. I understand what you are saying, that we have an overestimated view of ourselves, of the actual talent that we have.
Yeah.
You mentioned one sport, Nigerians will feel we can compete with the very best. But you look at 100 meters, for example. How many times have we had the Nigerian run sub 10? Yeah. Very few of them. I think the last was Olusoji Fasuba. So I think that tells you how much we think we are that good, but I don't think, maybe we need to actually have a realistic view of it.
It also takes me to football, because when we say, oh, giant of Africa football, the last time Ghana won the AFCON was in 1984. They have 4 AFCON titles. Since 1984 to now, no AFCON.
Yeah.
Guess what? The Super Eagles of Nigeria, the giant of Africa, have just 3 AFCON titles. They haven't equaled Ghana's record, much more overtake them. So I'm not absolving the administrators of this place. I heard the amount that was budgeted for the Olympics. I don't know how accurate it is, but it was in the region of 11 to 12 billion naira. That's about $85,000 per athlete. We took 88 athletes. I believe if we put good use of that money, we'll achieve a lot of success. Because, take for instance, Jamaica. The average budget for the athletes was $2,300 per athlete. Nigeria, $85,000. And you can see it's clear. Jamaica had one of their worst outing, but they still picked up a couple of medals.
Yeah, I think that, we've come to, as a nation, we just keep throwing money at the problem. We keep throwing money at the problem instead of actually going to the root of it. Are we even throwing
the money? But let's not get into that.
Okay, let me be the little we have. I just sprinkling money. And let me not say true. We are just sprinkling the little we are managing. And I think that's the problem. When I looked at Kenya as a whole, they won 11 medals. It's very important to know that all the 11 medals were in either middle distance or long distance. So they've identified the strengths. They invested their efforts in it. But Nigeria just wants to win everything, even though we are not investing the right. We think we can just go and rival the very best of the best, and I don't think that's possible. We need to actually be deliberate with what we are doing.
Yeah, you look at countries like China. I like using China as an example because they streamline, or like the United States, they have abundance of talent in other sports. They streamline their resources to the events they know fetch them medals. In fact, now we're seeing Chinese in short puts, in sprints. So they are diversifying their resources into those events. It is sad that we are still stuck in this rut in 2024. It is sad. Yeah. So you can say some of our athletes could have done better or should have done better, but at the end of the day, what level of support do they have? Monetary support. We saw favor of Philly. I'm crying after that 200 meters final where we didn't have an official there to show support, emotional support, and all of that. They had to take the intervention of foreign journalists to pacify her. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. I'm not saying we're going to blow out in 2028 if we'll lay the foundations, but it is the right step. It is the right step. I read an article that said to compete at the Olympics, to win a medal at the Olympics, it takes the athlete 12 years.
Preparation.
So we need to start. We don't need 12 years to pick up a medal, but when you lay down the groundwork, you're going to repeat. I'm still talking about the Olympics. How about we go to countries who we know prepare for the Olympics, plan for the Olympics, and also get medals? It was 40 gold medals for the United States, 40 for China. But the United States beat them by virtue of having more silver medals, 44 to 27. It is the United States for consecutive victory at the Olympics.
No, I mean, it's obvious. When you look at the United States as a nation, what they do to invest in their sports, the fact that you see even people from other nations, you see some of the names representing them are people from other nations, most of them, because of their athletics program in their universities, you have people crossing from other countries, getting scholarships. In fact, I have a friend. We went to secondary school together. She went to the Commonwealth Games. But she represented America. She got a scholarship from her secondary school to go to an American university. So those kind of things happen a lot. They have a structured program for sport. I mean, I saw a picture, Sha'Carri Richardson and Duplantis. On their first day at UCLA. UCLA is one of the biggest schools in terms of sports, development, school and sports. So I think they are deliberate and they are getting the results of what they are doing.
All right, David, your highlights from the Olympics?
For me, I think it's Leslie Tebogo.
Oh, brilliant!
I saw him first in 2016 in Rio. He was, he was on the brink, looking like, this is an actual sprinter from Africa that can actually push, the very top. And 200, the fact that he took lives to the cleaners, very remarkable for him.
All right, that's the much we can take on this segment of the show. It's all about the Olympics. Keep watching the highlights, the moments, the big moments. Basketball, we saw the United States, men and women, defeat the French team. In fact, on the final day, we saw the French president, Emmanuel Macron, showing his support to the French women basketball team. But again, it was against the United States of America. And it is a record 8 consecutive gold medals for the United States women's basketball team at the Olympics. What a record. All right, at this point, let's go on a short break. When we come back, it's going to be all things football. We saw the Manchester Derby, the Community Shield. Hey, as a United fan, of course, that's just a glorified friendly. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the second half of the show. It is still Sports Pizza. Remember to follow us on our social media platforms. The handles are showing now on your screen. David, let's talk football. We'll start from the home of football, even though it has been hugely contested through the years. England, the Community Shield, the precursor on what to expect from the 2024-2025 season. What did you take from that 90 minutes of action?
For Manchester United, from their own perspective, there are a lot of positives, but there are still negatives. You know, the same familiar failings of last season. Very difficult to score goals. You know, when you're relying on Marcus Rashford to be a source of goals for you, I tell you, you're in problem. Despite the fact they spent over 120 million. You know, they signed Rasmus Højlund 2 seasons ago. They signed Joshua Zirkzee this summer. Yeah, they are still relying on Rashford for goals. I think that's going to be a major problem if you are relying on Rashford for goals. Then defense, you have Johnny. You're still relying on Johnny Evans, Maguire. I mean, I looked at that backline and I thought, are we back in 2015? Now we see Maguire and Johnny Evans in defense. But I think overall, there's some positives. The likes of Amad Diallo. I think a manager who what he sucks will know that Amad Diallo should start ahead of Anthony. It doesn't matter the price tag because Diallo looks like this is going to be a season to actually explode. Garnacho looks like another season for him to explode. Kobe Mino, you know, maybe Casemiro and Kobe Mino's partnership might actually, you know, give them something solidity this season. Bruno Fernandes still as good as he has always been, but I think for City they cannot take much from it because the squad was majorly young stars. You know, James McCarthy, Oscar Bob, you know, the likes of Rico Lewis. But I think when the big players come, I think they will get better. So for those who think maybe them winning the Community Shield may be a precursor to them not winning the league title, I don't think so. This is the thing who win matches when they need to win matches. So I think United can take a few positives. City.
All right, the last time City won the Community Shield 2019, they failed to win the Premier League. Maybe that could give Arsenal some sort of comfort. Coming into the season, David, can City make it 5 from 5? And do you think Arsenal have significantly closed the gap? 2 seasons ago, it was 5 points. Last season, it was 2 points. Is this the season Arsenal takes it a notch higher, considering that City have 1 or 2 questions to answer in attack with regards to personnel?
Yeah, I think so. So it's 2 questions. I think the first question, City can make it 5 in a row if everything, if they do exactly what they've been doing over the past 4 seasons, they can make it. But for Arsenal, I think the gap has closed significantly, and I think it can close even more with 1 or 2 more signings. I think they need a world-class attacker, somebody who is able to finish off chances, because I saw in the game against Lyon over the weekend, I think they created chances, but, you know, as usual, they had to rely on set pieces to score the goals. You cannot do that over the course of the full season. The chances they created were enough to actually score goals. So if they can get a world-class attacker, probably a midfielder that will, you know, give them options in midfield. The defense is, I don't know what Arteta is building in that defense, building a rock. How do you improve on the defense that was the best in the season? You signed another 6'2" centre by a proper defender. I think it's going to be difficult to score Arsenal, but if they can get somebody that will get them goals, I think they'll push City all the way.
How about Liverpool and the chasing pack? At the slot, I want to temper expectations with Liverpool. Do you see them making an impact, maybe throwing their names in the hat for the Premier League title? Yeah,
I think so. I think at the beginning, I didn't give Arne Slot much of a chance. I thought this would be a transition season, but I think the players have quickly adapted to his system. I saw some of the football they played over their preseason games, very solid. Szoboszlai, the freedom he has always wanted, has gotten. If they can sign a proper defensive midfielder, I think there are rumors of them going for Martins Zubimendi. If they can get a proper number 6, I think the attacking creativity that they have, you know, like the Szoboszlai, that's of McAllister, I think is enough for them to trouble teams. And their attack, they have Jota there, they have Nunez. Salah is still, looks like this season he has a point to prove. He has cut his hair. Hopefully this is a Samson situation, but I think there's more to expect from them.
All right, where does he leave Manchester United, Spurs, maybe Aston Villa? If you look at the good job that has been done at West Ham, where do you leave these teams? Floating, top 4, top 6, top 7?
I think the top 2 positions are really solidified. I think it's City and Arsenal that will go for those top 2. So the remaining 3 positions, are going to be a big battle. I think Tottenham will have a better chances with the news of Dominic Solanke coming in. They've lacked an actual goal scorer in that team, so I think his entrance will give them more creativity, more goals this season. They will challenge, and if they can maintain the form, we saw them last season. The first 10 games they were very solid. Then they filtered out. But I think Postecoglou, big hands. I think this season will be season of consolidation for them, so they will do better this season. For Aston Villa, the problem I have for them is they've signed so many players, but with Emery, we'll find a way to blend all of them together. For Man United, hopefully they'll get the players they still need to beef up that squad, because this squad is still not enough to challenge.
All right, away from England, let's to the Spanish La Liga. Kylian Mbappe joining the double champions Real Madrid. Should we just write the season off and say, oh, it is Real Madrid's to lose? Then you have Atletico Madrid, the Barcelona, and the Sevillas, and the Bilbaos just battle for the second down to the 5th, 6th position. I mean, is that the case?
For Real Madrid, we say football is not played on paper, but on paper, even on the field, I think they have a very super squad, a solid squad. Considering what they did last season with the issues they had, injury issues over the course, they still managed to pull up that kind of season. With the additions now, I think Mbappe is going to raise their levels to another level. That's a star name, add to Vinicius, add to Rodrigo. I think the rest of the league will just have to keep on chasing. I think Barcelona will try, give them a challenge. Atletico Madrid will look like this is going to be a season of consolidation, but I think Madrid are still the firm favourites for the title.
Talking about Atletico Madrid, is this a make or break season for Diego Simeone? The highest paid coach in the world, a lot of financial backing, he's gotten quality players, but the excuse has always been, oh, there's Real Madrid, there's Barcelona, we can't compete at that level. But when you look at their financial books, it paints a different picture in that financially they've gone toe-to-toe with this side. Is this the season where we expect them to not just compete, but challenge for the title?
Yeah, I think so. I think we expect them, but I don't think Simeone's job at Atletico will be defined by this, because his relationship with that club is very special. The fact it took them from where they were to where they are now, I think for that reason, but with the quality of squad they have, it's what they're able to do in transfer markets, I think we expect them to challenge. Because they had a very terrible season last season. At the point they were actually competing for the 4th position in the league, which is not the level that's supposed to be. So they need to give Barcelona and Real Madrid a big push this season. And
for Barcelona, Hansi Flick, new manager, what is your expectation of him this season?
I think pushing Real Madrid all the way. Madrid had a sweet season last season. It was quite easy. The challenge was not as much. Girona did most of the pushing, but when their efforts could not go all the way, they just left it for Madrid. But I think this season, Barcelona can push Real Madrid as much as possible all the way. They need to provide consistent results, win matches. Xavi's ending of the season felt very bad. So if Ancelotti can take it higher, I think it can be a good season for him.
Finally, the Italian Serie A, before we leave the studio, David. Inter Milan's to lose?
Absolutely. I mean, how do you improve on a squad that a record-breaking season? They've signed a proper striker in Mediterranean from Porto. They signed Piotr Zielinski from Napoli also. And in defense, I think they are looking at Jakub Kiwior from Arsenal as the left side. So I think the challenge, they will be very strong this season again. Simeone Inzaghi is still in charge, but I think Juventus, I don't want to write them up because Thiago Motta.
Can he spring up a surprise?
I think so. I think if Thiago Motta gets the tools he needs, I think he's going to. If he brings that brand of football that he played at Bologna to Juventus, I think they will give Inter Milan a real push.
All right, there you have it. All of the exciting games coming up from the 2024-2025 Football League season. Go out there, enjoy these games, and be rest assured that you get quality, top-notch analysis on the best sports show anywhere. It is Sports Pizza. Before we sign out, let me tell you, as always, we leave you with our video for the week. Do enjoy, and remember to give us a follow on our social media platforms. From here, Edwin Onyebolise saying adios, and of course, David, it's great having you.
Yeah, it was a pleasure to be here. From me, it's goodbye.